I bet you never thought you lived to see the day where a Tim Allen movie was featured on Badass Digest. But I swear to God, Galaxy Quest, the homage/spoof of Star Trek, is not just a really great movie. I think it's one of the most underrated movies of the last 20 years.
Hi, little guy.
My name is Devin Faraci, and this is Badass Digest. So Galaxy Quest, here's the thing. So you think, oh, it's a Tim Allen movie. It's like a 1999 comedy. It's sort of from that uncool period of the late 90s where people like, were doing Fight Club and Being John Malkovich, and here's this studio product movie. But seriously, it's a terrific movie. I think what makes it really work is that it taps into some real truths about Star Trek fandom. In 1986, William Shatner appeared on Saturday Night Live, and he did this sketch where he appears in front of a Star Trek convention, and he tells the crowd to get a life.
Get a life, will you, people?
It was a huge hit, and the fandom just really embraced it. To be a Star Trek fan is to understand that you're kind of one of the biggest nerds in the whole planet, and to sort of be okay with that.
I mean, it's just a TV show, damn it. It's just a TV show.
In fact, Galaxy Quest quotes that William Shatner sketch. It has a scene where Justin Long comes up to Tim Allen's character, Jason Nesmith, and begins asking him to settle a bet about this minutia of how the inner workings of the spaceship operate.
Just a television show, that's all, okay?
Right. Nesmith has no idea because it's not a real spaceship. See, except that it is. That's the cool thing about Galaxy Quest. So the idea here is that there's a TV show, Galaxy Quest, that aired. It was a cult science fiction show, and it was canceled about 18 years before the beginning of the movie.
Whew! Your commander is on deck.
The actors are sort of trapped in these characters. They've been going to conventions, they do personal appearances, they're all miserable. It really is exactly what happened to the Star Trek cast in the 70s.
I shall avenge you.
What happens, though, is that there's a race of aliens out in space who have been picking up the broadcasts of the original Galaxy Quest TV show, and they mistake them for historical documents.
Never surrender.
And the aliens, the Thermians in Galaxy Quest, are trapped in the middle of a galactic war, and they come to Earth to pick up these heroes and really help turn the tide of battle.
We are Thermians from the Klaatu Nebula, and we need your help.
Is this about the gig tomorrow?
It's a movie that's a lot like Ghostbusters, believe it or not, in that it's a comedy that has adventure elements and they both work. And that's a really tricky thing to pull off. You could technically strip the comedy out of Galaxy Quest and have a pretty reasonable science fiction movie. But it's those characters, these down-on-their-luck actors, having to step up and save the day. It's really lovable, and it's the same thing again as Ghostbusters, with these lovable losers really stepping up and making a big difference at the end. Galaxy Quest is full of little homages and winks and nods to Star Trek. There's a really famous sequence in Galaxy Quest where Tim Allen is fighting a rock monster. And of all the weird homages, this is actually an homage to Star Trek V.
Oh, darn.
William Shatner directed that one, and at the end of the movie, he wanted to have Captain Kirk fighting a giant rock monster, but there was just no budget. That's also sort of an homage in a lot of ways to one of the most famous episodes of Star Trek ever, The Arena. You find Captain Kirk fighting the alien Gorn on a desert planet. In that episode, Captain Kirk creates sort of a really primitive blunderbuss to fight the alien. And in Galaxy Quest, you have the great Sam Rockwell giving advice.
Look around you. Can you form some sort of rudimentary lathe?
And that's exactly what Captain Kirk did in the arena. One of the things that's really great about Galaxy Quest is that it was made right on the cusp of the CGI revolution. So there's CGI in the movie, obviously, but there's also terrific, great practical creature effects. The Stan Winston studio came in and created some really just terrific and beautiful makeup effects. When you're watching a Galaxy Quest, just keep an eye open for little things. This is Rainn Wilson's very first movie role. And the designation of the Protector, the spaceship that the Galaxy Quest crew rides in, begins with an NTE as their designation number. NTE stands for Not the Enterprise. And the Protector itself is sort of designed, looks quite a bit like a Star Trek communicator from the Next Generation. But the thing I like about Galaxy Quest a lot at the end of the day is that it's a one-and-done movie. This didn't turn into some kind of franchise. This didn't get a sequel. It didn't get a cartoon show. It exists all in its own little bubble. It's full of amazing performances. Alan Rickman is incredible. This is, just before Harry Potter. He has this wonderful hangdog quality going on.
I was an actor once. Damn it, now look at me, look at me!
Sigourney Weaver, who we know is one of the toughest, most badass women in cinema, is hilarious in this film, wearing a blonde wig, being very funny, a very different kind of a role for her. And you know what, I'm gonna go there, she's sexy as hell in it too. Tim Allen's great. I mean, how many times do you get to say Tim Allen is great in a movie? How exciting is it to be able to actually give that guy a little bit of praise? And it's, of course, Sam Rockwell. This is one of those movies that really helped catapult Sam Rockwell to the next level. There's that joke, that comes out of Star Trek that anybody in a red shirt is going to die. Rockwell's playing a guy who essentially was a red shirt on Galaxy Quest. And so his obsession the entire movie is that he's really concerned that he's going to die.
Don't open that! It's an alien planet! Is there air? You don't know!
There's been a lot of really dumb pop culture comedy about the red shirt concept. I think Galaxy Quest is the only thing that really gets it right.
Seems okay.
So it's possible that you've never seen Galaxy Quest before, that you've just sort of dismissed it. But I urge you to give it a chance. It's available on DVD and Blu-ray. It's available on streaming right now. I think it's really just an underrated, beautifully written, well-made, very funny, very sweet movie that truly captures what the heart of sci-fi fandom is all about. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode moving forward. I'll be back again next week doing something totally different, just as badass as this. My name is Devin Faraci, and this is Badass Digest.
Get your film fix. Subscribe to Cinefix.